Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Looking Beyond the Dividend. This week, I need some input from you, but I'm going to ask you for that around the end of this video. Today, we're going to talk about a company in Canada that was incorporated in 1919 in Montreal, Quebec. Of course, I'm talking about Canadian National Railway. CN Rail runs coast to coast in Canada, down into Chicago in the United States, and all the way through to the Gulf of Mexico. It has 19,500 miles of track across that distance. So, is it a good stock? Is it one that you should look to get into? Well, we're going to have a look at this stock a little deeper. Stick around. So, just what exactly does Canadian National Railway carry? Well, up on the screen, I've given you a list of the main items that they carry across Canada, the US, and Mexico, with the percentage of consolidated revenue that each one of those items feed. As you can see in the list, nothing speaks more about Canada and the resources that we have and can provide. So, with those necessities being transported as they are from CN Rail, why exactly then would analysts be giving or providing CN Rail with a current hold rating? Well, let's dive into the financials. So, as noted in 2022, the company generated $17.1 billion in revenue. And in the first quarter of 2023, the company grew their diluted earnings per share by 38%. However, when presenting their first quarter earnings report, they did also note that they were seeing a slowdown in economic activity, and that caused the share price to drop 5% on what was otherwise pretty decent news in their first quarter reporting. A number of analysts as well consider CN Rail to be overvalued, currently trading at over $161 per share, with a fair value of their determination anyway of $126 per share. You would look at that $40 and ask, what the heck is going on? And this is something that I kind of find very, very important, and something that when I looked at this company and investing into it, it really, really set off a trigger for me in a positive way. We always like to look at companies and what it is that the product or service is that they're offering. Of course, we also want to see the longevity of that company and how have they been performing over so many years. Well, as I stated, this company was founded in 1919, and so they've got a pretty good track record, no pun intended, or a history of their earnings and a history of their business. And also, just as important, if not more important, we need to look at the competition. The only real competition is Canadian Pacific Railway, which is also in Canada. There are a number of other rails out in the United States, but we really don't want to compare those to these two because they specifically go all across Canada. To its advantage, CN Rail has more miles of track than does CP Rail. So there's a number of different things that we could look at to compare the two to see which one is a better buy. And the only thing I'll say is that CN Rail, has been around longer and has a longer record of their business and their successes. So because these two are kind of in a moat, as we call it, with not really any other competition than those two companies, there is what is always deemed to be a premium on the share price. And that premium is kind of what the current price is versus what the fair market value of the company is. So I don't have any concerns when I look at what the share price is that I'm paying to buy CN Rail versus what the company can offer us. And this is where it's going to totally depend on the type of investor you are and what it is that you want to get out of your investments as to whether or not you'll find CN Rail as an attractive option for you. Their current dividend is only approximately 2% per share, paid quarterly. However, they do have a combined annual growth rate. If we go back to that dividend all-star list that I keep referencing, over the past 15 years, they have a combined annual growth rate within their dividend of over 13, almost 14%. So even though it is only 2% currently, that is growing rapidly each year over the last 15 years. And furthermore, to make this even more attractive to dividend income investors, they only currently pay out a 37% payout ratio of their earnings. So for someone like myself and my wife who are in this for income with the hope of capital appreciation, this fits into our scenario perfectly. And I know there was a recent video I did on HYLD, the Hamilton High Yield ETF. I know that there's many people out there that look for high yield returns on a monthly and or quarterly basis. Well, this is a stock that isn't going to give you anywhere near that percentage of return, but I'm also very, very confident in this company, CN Rail, that those returns are going to be consistent. They're going to consistently increase for me, and over time, I have no doubt that there will be some capital appreciation within this stock. Is Canadian National Railway a buy, sell, or a hold for you? Well, only you can decide that. As I always say, this is not investing advice. I'm just telling you about my wife and I and one of the stocks that we're invested in. Personally, I love this stock and I love it going forward as well. Before I finish this video today, I'd like to ask you for some help, specifically some input if you wouldn't mind. On my community page within my YouTube channel, I've posted a question. I just recently this week expanded into some different types of videos that I want to put up on my channel, but I want to make sure that people have an interest in them because I want you to keep coming back and seeing what I'm talking about. On that community page, I've posted a question of 5 different options of other types of videos just to see what people out there might be interested in. Don't worry, I'm going to keep talking about stocks and the other things that I currently have within my channel. But I would really appreciate your input and to see what it is that you'd like to see more videos of. As always, I thank you guys for sticking around. And if you've enjoyed this video or any other videos that I have out, I would really, really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.